بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وأسألك اللهم بالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا آدم عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا نوح عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا هود عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا إبراهيم عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا صالح عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا يونس عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا أيوب عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا يعقوب عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا يوسف عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا موسى عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا هارون عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا شعيب عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا إسماعيل عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا داود عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا سليمان عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا زكريا عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا يحيى عليه السلام، وبالأسماء
ذلك بأنهم قالوا لن تمسنا النار إلا أياما معدودات وغرهم في دينهم ما كانوا يفترون فكيف إذا جاء من اليوم لا ريب فيه وفويت كل نفس ما كسبت وهم لا يظلمون قل اللهم مالك الملك تؤتي الملك من تشاء وتنزل الملك ممن تشاء وتعز من تشاء وتذل من تشاء بيدك الخير إنك على كل شيء قدير تولج الليل في النهار وتولج النهار في الليل وتخرج الحي من الميت وتخرج الميت من الحي وترزق من تشاء بغير حساب آمنا بالله صدق الله العظيم سeyri kainat Hazreti Fahri Alem Muhammed Mustafa'ya salavat.
Allahümme salli ala seyyidina Muhammed ve ala ali seyyidina Muhammed sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem.
Allah adın zikredelim menvela vacip oldu cümle işte her kula. Allah adın her kim Allah velana her izi asan eder Allah'ana. Allah adı olsa her işin önü her gizepter olmayanın sonu. Her nefeste Allah adında müdam Allah adıyla olur her iş tamam. Bir kez Allah dese aşk ile lisan dökülür cümle günah misli hazan. İsmi pak impak olur zikreyleyen her murada erişir Allah diyen. Aşk ile gelimdi Allah diyelim derd ile gözyaşı ile ahidelim. Ol hakim rahmet kıl ol padişah ol kerim ol rahim ol ilah. Birdir ol birliğine şek yokturur gerçi yanlış söyleyenler çokturur. Cümle alem yok iken ol var idi yaratılmıştan gani cebbar idi. Var iken ol yok idi melek arşı ferişü ayı gün hem nüfelek. Sun ile bunlar ol var eyledi birliğine cümle ikrar eyledi. Kudretin nisar edip hem ol celil birliğine bunları kıldı delil. Ol dedi bir kere var oldu cihan olma derse mahvolur olma deme aman. Bari ne hacet kılavuz sözü çok
Birdir Allah, andan artık Tanrı yok. Haşrederek gel denilirse bu kelam, nice haşrola bu olmaya tamam. Bes Muhammed'dir bu varlığa sebep, sıdk ile anın rızasın kıl talep. Ey azizler işte başlarız söze, bir vasiyet kılarız illa size. Ol vasiyet giderim her kim tuta, mis gibi kokusu canlarda tüte. Hak Teala rahmet eyleye ana, kim beni ol bir dua ile ana. Her kediler bu duada buluna, Fatiha ihsan ede ben kuluna.
Allahümme salli ala seyyidina Muhammedin nebil ümmi ve ala alihi ve sahbihi ve sellem. Allahümme salli ala seyyidina Muhammedin nebil ümmi ve ala alihi ve sahbihi ve sellem. Allahümme salli ala seyyidina Muhammedin nebil ümmi ve ala الفاتحة. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله العظيم الذي لا اله الا هو الحي القيوم واتوب اليك من كل ذنب ومعصية من كل ما يخالف دين الإسلام من كل ما يخالف الشريعة من كل ما يخالف الطريقات من كل ما يخالف المعرفات من كل ما يخالف الحقيقات من كل ما يخالف العظمات يا أرحم الراحمين. أودعني كلمتين شهادتين لك يا رسول الله وهي لنا وليتيمك يا رحمة للعالمين. اللهم يا مسبب الأسباب يا مفاتيح الأبواب يا مقلب القلوب والأبصار يا دليل المتطهرين يا غياث المستغيثين يا حي يا قيوم يا ذو الجلال والإكرام وفدوا أمري إلا الله إن الله باسر بالعباد. رابي تاه الشريف. Connect your heart to Shaykh. واتي الشريف. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. صلوات الشريف. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. ألم نشرح الشريف. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب. الله أكبر. إخلاص الشهر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله فاتحة الشهر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. صلوات الشريف. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل وسلم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم صل يا ربي وسلم على جميع الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى كلنا أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب قد آتيتني من الملك وعلمتني من تأويل الأحاديث فاطر السماوات والأرض أنت ولي في الدنيا والآخرة توفني مسلما وبلغني بالصالحين. آمنا بالله صدق الله العظيم. سبحانك ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. إلى شرف النبي مصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى وصحبه الكرام وإلى مشايخنا بتركة نقشبندية العلية Hazreti Ruhi İmam Tarık Azül Halika ve Coşan Akşben Muhammed Veysel Bahari Sultan Evliya Şahullah Fazıl Aysen Ebu Fıkara Seyyid Acıbad Rabbani Sultan Evliya Kıblet-i İslam Sahibi Zaman Şeyh Sultan Mevlana Muhammed Nazım Adel Hakkani Hadme Hacegan İl Halik Ucuvani SahibulSaif Şeyh Abdulkerim El Kibrisi Rabbani Sahir Sadatına ve Sıddıkî.
El Fatiha. Allah'ım. واعلم أنه لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله Allah إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله حسبنا الله نعم الوكيل نعم المولى نعم النصير ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم على بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب بلى الله الله الله الله الله الله الله الله الله ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم hak hak hak hak hak hak hak hak hak hak hak hak hak hak hak hak hak hak hak hak hak hak hak hak hak hak hak hak hak hasbunallah ni'mal vakil. Hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay hay. Hasbunallah ni'mal vakil ni'mal mevla ni'mal nasir. Ve la havle ve la kuvvete illa billahil aliyyil azim. Allahu Allah hak, Allahu Allah hak, Allahu Allah hak, Allahu Allah hak, Allahu Allah hak, Allahu Allah hak, Allahu Allah hak, Allahu Allah hak, Allahu Allah hay, Allahu Allah hay, Allahu Allah hay, Allahu Allah hay, Allahu Allah hay, Allahu Allah hay, Allahu Allah hay, Allahu Allah. Allah hayya kayyum, Allah hayya kayyum, Allah hayya kayyum, Allah hayya kayyum, Allah hayya kerim, Allah hayya kerim, Allah hayya kerim, Allah hayya kerim, Allah hayya qadir, Allah hayya qadir, Allah hayya qadir, Allah hayya qadir, Allah hayya ali, Allah hayya ali, Allah hayya ali, Allah hayya Ali, Allah hayya mu'min, Allah hayya mu'min, Allah hayya mu'min, Allah hayya mu'min, Allah hayya alim, Allah hayya alim, Allah hayya alim, Allah hayya alim, Allah hayya rahman, Allah hayya rahman, Allah hayya rahman, Allah hayya rahman, Allah hayya rahim, Allah hayya rahim, Allah hayya rahim, Allah hayya rahim, Allah hayya azim, Allah hayya azim, Allah hayya azim, Allah hayya azim, Allah hayya gaffar, Allah hayya gaffar, Allah hayya gaffar, Allah hayya gaffar, Allah hayya gafur, Allah hayya gafur, Allah hayya gafur, Allah hayya gafur, Allah hayya gani, Allah hayya gani, Allah hayya gani, Allah hayya gani, Allah hayya reşid, Allah hayya reşid, Allah hayya reşid, Allah hayya reşid, Allah hayya reşad, Allah hayya reşad, Allah hayya reşad, Allah hayya reşad, Allah hayya veli, Allah hayya veli, Allah hayya veli, Allah hayya veli, Allah hayya subhan, Allah hayya subhan, Allah hayya subhan, Allah hayya subhan, Allah hayya sultan, Allah hayya sultan, Allah hayya sultan, Allah hayya sultan, Allah hayya sultan, Allah hayya sultan, Allah hayya sultan, Allah hayya sultan, Allah hayya fettah, Allah hayya fettah, Allah hayya fettah, Allah hayya fettah, Allah hayya settar, Allah hayya settar, Allah hayya settar, Allah hayya settar, Allah hayya sami, Allah hayya sami, Allah hayya sami, Allah hayya sami, Allah hayya basir, Allah hayya basir, Allah hayya basir, Allah hayya basir, Allah hayya eman, Allah hayya eman, Allah hayya eman, Allah hayya eman, Allah hayya selam, Allah hayya selam, Allah hayya selam, Allah hayya selam, Allah hayya şafi, Allah hayya şafi, Allah hayya şafi, Allah hayya şafi, Allah hayya ali, Allah hayya ali, Allah hayya ali, Allah hayya ali, Allah hayya veli, Allah hayya veli, Allah hayya veli, Allah hayya veli, Allah hayya cemal, Allah hayya cemal, Allah hayya cemal, Allah hayya cemal, Allah hayya celal, Allah hayya celal, Allah hayya celal, Allah hayya celal, Allah hayya cabbar, Allah hayya Cebbar Allah, hayya Cebbar Allah, hayya Cebbar Allah, hayya Kahhar Allah, hayya Kahhar Allah, hayya Kahhar Allah, hayya Kahhar Allah, hayya Kadir Allah, hayya Kadir Allah, hayya Kadir Allah, hayya Kadir Allah, hayya Muktadir Allah, hayya Muktadir Allah, hayya Muktadir Allah, hayya Muktadir Allah, hayya Vedud Allah, hayya Vedud Allah, hayya Vedud Allah, hayya Vedud Allah, hayya Hamid Allah, hayya Hamid Allah, hayya Hamid Allah, hayya Hamid Allah, hayya Ahad Allah, hayya Ahad Allah, hayya Ahad Allah, hayya Ahad Allah, hayya Samad Allah, hayya Samad Allah, hayya Samad Allah, hayya Samad Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Daim Allah, hayya Daim Allah, hayya Daim Allah, hayya Daim Allah, hayya Hannan Allah, hayya Hannan Allah, hayya Hannan Allah, hayya Hannan Allah, hayya Mennan Allah, hayya Mennan Allah, hayya Mennan Allah, hayya Mennan Allah, hayya Dayyan Allah, hayya Dayyan Allah, hayya Dayyan Allah, hayya Dayyan Allah, hayya Subhan Allah, hayya Subhan Allah, hayya Subhan Allah, hayya Subhan Allah, hayya Azim Allah, hayya Azim Allah, hayya Azim Allah, hayya Azim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Kerim Allah, hayya Sabur Allah, hayya Sabur Allah, hayya Sabur Allah, hayya Sabur Allah, hayya Allah Allah, hayya Allah Allah, hayya Allah Allah, hayya Allah Allah, hayya Allah Allah, hayya Allah Allah, hayya Allah Allah, hayya Allah Allah, hayya Allah Allah, hayya Allah Allah, hayya Allah Allah, hayya Allah Allah, hayya Allah Allah, hayya Allah Allah, hayya Allah Allah, hayya Allah Allah, hayya Allah Allah, hayya Allah Allah, hayya Allah Allah, hayya Allah Allah, hayya Allah Allah, hayya Allah Allah, hayya Allah Allah, hayya Hasbunallah ni'mal vakil, ni'mal mevla, ni'mal nasir, ve la havle ve la kuvvete illa billahil aliyyil azim. Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. İnna Allah ve melaiketehu yusalluna alen nebi. Ya eyyühellezine amenu sallu aleyhi ve sallimu teslima. Allahümme salli ala Muhammedin ve ala ali Muhammedin ve sallim. Allahümme salli ala Muhammedin ve ala ali Muhammedin ve sallim. Allahümme salli ala Muhammedin ve ala ali Muhammedin ve sallim. Allahümme salli ala Muhammedin ve ala ali Muhammedin ve sallim. Allahümme salli ala Muhammedin ve ala ali Muhammedin ve sallim. Allahümme salli ala Muhammedin ve ala ali Muhammedin ve sallim. Allahümme salli ala Muhammedin ve ala ali Muhammedin ve sallim. Allahümme salli ala Muhammedin ve ala آل محمد وسلم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم صل يا ربي وسلم على جميع الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى كل أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين على أشرف العالمين سيدنا محمد الصلوات على أكمل العالمين سيدنا محمد الصلوات على أشرف العالمين سيدنا محمد الصلوات صلوات الله تعالى وملائكته وأنبيائه ورسوله وجميع خلقه محمد وآل محمد عليه الصلاة والسلام ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته ورضي الله تبارك وتعالى سيراتنا أصحاب رسول الله أجمعين وعن لما متاكين وعن أهلها الصالحين مشايخنا بتاركة النقشبات العالية قدس الله زكيهم مبارك على الله تعالى بركاتهم وفي وداتهم دائما الحمد لله رب العالمين الفاتحة سبحان ربي العلي الوهاب
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى اله وصحبه وسلم الحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى اله وصحبه اجمعين جعلنا الله ايانا من مما يستجيب شفاعته ويرجو من الله رحمته ورافته اللهم بحرمة هذا النبي الكريم وآله وصحبه من حاجه القويم اجعلنا من خيار امته واستعملنا من زين حرمته واحشرنا غدا في زمرته واستعمل ألسنتنا في مدحه ونصرته واحنا متمسكين بسنته وطاعته ومتنا اللهم على حبه وجماله اللهم ادخلنا الجنة فإنه من ينزلها وارحمنا يوم يشفى الخلائق فترحمها اللهم زدنا زيارته في كل سنة ولا تجعلنا من الغافلين قبل السنة اللهم لا تجعلنا في مجلسنا أحدا من أغزة ما تبدي عن ذنوبها وسكنت به بذات المغفرة أيوب اللهم إنه كان معنا في سنة مضيت إخواننا معنا هم عن قدر الرسول حازنا بفضله رحمهم الله اللهم ارحمنا على سنان أصحاب القبور ووفقنا إلى من إحسان قسنه وعلى من زهور اللهم اجعلنا لأنائك الزاكرين ولنمائك الشاكرين وليوم لقائك الزاكرين واحنا من دادك مشكورين وإذا توفيتنا فتوفى غير مفتونين ولا محزونين واختمنا خيرهم أجمعين اللهم اكفنا شر الظالمين اللهم اكفنا شر الظالمين اللهم اكفنا شر الظالمين وجعلنا من فتنة هذه الدنيا السالمين اللهم اجعلنا هذا النبي الشفيع لقنه يوم القيامة مقاما رفيعا اللهم اسقنا من حوض نبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم شربة حنية منية نابت وعودا وحدا سائلنا غدا اللهم ارحم لآبائنا وأمهاتنا ولمشايخ الفضل علينا وزد أجر هذا الخير في هذه الليلة ولجميع المؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك أنت قريب مجيب الدعوات وقاضي الحاجات وقاضي الحاجات وقاضي الحاجات واغفر الذنوب والخطيئات يا أرحم الراحمين يا أرحم الراحمين يا أرحم الراحمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم سبحانك ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Ya Rabbi, all praise are due to you, and your peace and blessings be on the Holy Prophet, Islam, and his family and his companions. Ya Rabbi, please bless our grand Shaykh Sultan of Ya Shaykh Ya Rabbi, our Shaykh SahibulSaif, Shaykh Abdulkerim, Ya Rabbi, raise them to higher and higher and higher stations, Ya Rabbi. Ya Rabbi, give long life, healthy life, strong life to Shaykh Sultan, Ya Rabbi. Make us to be better ones for him, Ya Rabbi. Make us to be better ones in this way, Ya Rabbi. Ya Rabbi, we're asking you for the sake of this holy night, Ya Rabbi, for the sake of our grand Shaykh Abdullah Fazl, Ya Rabbi. Please let us reach to the rahmat of this month, Ya Rabbi. Please let us reach the forgiveness of this month, Ya Rabbi. Please let us reach the freedom of fire in this month, Ya Rabbi. Ya Rabbi, make us be better servants to you, Ya Rabbi. Ya Rabbi, make us be more helpful for the Ummah Muhammad, Ya Rabbi. Ya Rabbi, let the end of Zulm to come in this month, Ya Rabbi. Make us be better ones for the work and the Hizmat, Ya Rabbi. Make us be better Murids and better servants, Ya Rabbi. For the sake of this holy night, Ya Rabbi, for the sake of our Shaykh, Ya Rabbi.
Remove ghaflat from us, Ya Rabbi. Remove laziness from us. Remove heedlessness from us. Wake us up, Ya Rabbi. Put more passion into our hearts. Make us to become more aware, Ya Rabbi. More awake, Ya Rabbi, for your sake.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya Rabbi Peygamber Efendimiz Aleyhisselatü Vesselam Hazretleri'nin yüzü hürmetine Ya Rabbi. Mübarek Cuma gecesinin hürmetine Ya Rabbi. Meşemizin meşemizin ahiretteki makamları, güçlerini, kuvvetini, hedeflerini, şanlarını, şereflerini artır Ya Rabbi.
Amin.
Onların yüzüsü hürmetine Ya Rabbi. Sevdiklerinin yüzüsü hürmetine Ya Rabbi. Lokman Efendi bütün iman kardeşlerimizi Ya Rabbi. İman edip garip mazlum kullarını Ya Rabbi. Halifemiz İmam Muhammed Nekkaresi'nin misalesinde ona yardım edecek kullarını emni Allah'ın dairinde tut Ya Rabbi.
Amin.
Büyüden, kötü gözden, nazardan, kazadan, beladan, hastalıktan, hükümet devlet şerrinden. Şeytanın şerrinden, şeytan asıl insanların şerrinden, deccalın şerrinden sana sığındık Ya Rabbi. Bizleri hakka hak, batılı batıl olarak göster Ya Rabbi. Şükür kapısından ayırma Ya Rabbi. Ya Rabbi şükürler olsun bizlere bu güzel ayı nasip ettiğin için şükürler olsun Ya Rabbi. Amin. Afiyet ile oruçlarımızı tutabilmeyi, bu güzel günleri, geceleri en güzel şekilde şeyhimize birlikte ihya edebilmeyi bizlere nasip mesele Ya Rabbi. Amin. Şeyhimizin rahmetini, bereketini Ya Rabbi, himmetini, nazarını dünya ahiret üzerimizden eksik etme Ya Rabbi.
Amin.
Estağfurullah, estağfurullah, estağfurullah. Lazım olsun, la ilahe illallah, ya kayyumat. Tevbeten abdin sanatım şuramun terbilah. Ya Vahhab, ya Vahhab, ya Vahhab, ya Musabib al-Esbab, ya Fatih al-Abwab, ya Qalib al-Qulub wal-Absar. Ya lil-Mutahhirin, ya Biyas Mustarisin, ya Hayy, ya Qayyum. Allahümme salaten timcina ve cemil halil muafir. Allahümme eslimtu Muhammed. Ya Rahman Rahimin Rahmanna, ya Rahman Rifa'fu anna, ya Rahman Rahimin Gafar azin estağfirullah fatal kulub. Amin, amin, amin. İlâ şerefini müstafirasın sabahı Şeyh Sultan SahibulSaif. El-Fatiha. Fatiha. Amin. Esselamu Aleyküm. Allah kabul etsin inşallah.
السلام وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى جميع النبيين والمرسلين أن تصلي على سيدنا محمد نبيك عدد ما خلقته من قبل أن تكون السماء مبنية والأرض مدحية والجبال مرسية والبحار مجرى والعيون منفجرة والأنهار منهمرة والشمس مضحية والقمر مضيئا والكواكب مستنيرة كنت حيث كنت لا يعلم أحد حيث كنت إلا أنت وحدك لا شريك لك اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد حلمك وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد علمك وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد كلماتك وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد نعمتك وصل على سيدنا محمد ملء سماواتك وصل على سيدنا محمد ملء أرضك وصل على سيدنا محمد ملء عرشك وصل على سيدنا محمد زينة عرشك وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما جرى به القلم في الكتاب وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما خلقت في 7 سماواتك وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما أنت خالق فيهن إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد كل قطرة قطرت من سماواتك إلى أرضك من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد من يسبحك ويهللك ويكبرك ويعظمك من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد أنفاسهم وألفاظهم وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد كل نسمة خلقتها فيهم من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد السحاب الجارية وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد الرياح الذارية من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما هبت عليه الرياح وحركته من الأغصان والأشجار والأوراق والثمار وجميع ما خلقت على أرضك وما بين سماواتك من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد نجوم السماء من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد ملء أرضك مما حملت وأقلت من قدرتك. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما خلقت في 7 بحارك مما لا يعلم علمه إلا أنت وما أنت خالقه فيها إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد ملء 7 بحارك وصل على سيدنا محمد زنة 7 بحارك مما حملت وأقلت من قدرتك. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد أمواج بحارك من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد الرمل والحصى في مستقر الأرضين وسهلها وجبالها من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد اضطراب المياه العذبة والملحة من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما خلقته على جديد أرضك في مستقر الأرضين شرقها وغربها سهلها وجبالها وأوديتها وطريقها وعامرها وغامرها إلى سائر ما خلقته عليها وما فيها ومدر وحجر من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي عدد نبات الأرض من قبلتها وشرقها وغربها وسهلها وجبالها وأوديتها وأشجارها وثمارها وأوراقها وزروعها وجميع ما يخرج من نباتها وبركاتها من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما خلقت من الجن والإنس والشياطين وما أنت خالقه منهم إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد كل شعرة في أبدانهم وفي وجوههم وعلى رؤوسهم منذ خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد خفقان الطير وطيران الجن والشياطين من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد كل بهيمة خلقت.
In these days, we have become all Wahhabis. Whether we are Ahl Sunnah, which mazhab, which tariqat, everyone is running to Allah. But when we say run to the Prophet ﷺ, they say this is a shirk, it's too much, it's this, you have to concentrate on Allah. Never in 1400 years, when you're concentrating on the Prophet, that you forget Allah, never. But so many times in 7,000 years of history that the prophets, they brought revelation, when they just concentrate on Allah, they forget about their prophets. Yes or no? And when they forget about the prophets, they may even kill their prophets. They judge their prophets, or they deviate from their prophets, or they say, we are better than you. Our kalima of shahadat is not only la ilaha illallah, it is Muhammad Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. Now it is like a lost treasure when we concentrate on the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, and people think it is high level or it is tasawwuf. It is not. In the 1400 years, even the most common, let's say, Muslim who doesn't have too much education, they understand the mercy and the love of the Prophet ﷺ. And especially in the last, let's say, 500, 600, 700 years with the rulings of the Ottomans, they're putting the love of the Prophet ﷺ. They say, if you don't have the love of the Prophet, you will not have the love of Allah. It is impossible. Which the Prophet himself is saying, if you don't love me more than you love everything else, then you don't have complete faith. Complete faith you will not have. So they're concentrating on the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the old days, they don't have to talk too much. Even when they're concentrating on the mercy, everyone knows that the mercy of Allah is the Prophet, because he is Rahmatul lil Alameen. He is the mercy to the whole alams, to the whole universes, galaxies, the whole of creation. He is the mercy. He is the cause of mercy. Allah is giving everything to him, from pre-eternity till post-eternity. So we become like Wahhabi-minded people, running towards Allah but forgetting about our Prophet. But everybody is saying we're following the Prophet. Wahhabis are saying we follow the Prophet. Never we say we put aside the no. They're going to claim we're following him. In fact, they're going to say we're the only ones who follow him. What they call Salafis. Sunni saying that, Sufi saying that, Shia saying that, so many different kinds, they're saying that. Yes? So where is the criterion now? Whether you're following the Prophet or not. Don't try to make up what you think is. Listen to the words of the Prophet ﷺ. And what did he say? He said that Islam will be divided into 73 different groups. Only one of them is going to be correct. The others are going to be in deviation. And it says bounding to hellfire. Only one is accepted. He did not leave it blank and open for 2,000 years for people to play with philosophy, to say, is he Father, Son, Holy Ghost, Holy this, what, I don't know. I'm making things up for 2,000 years, still wondering. Where is it written? Where did he say he is? He said over here, but it's not it. He said over here, it's not it. You're just making things up. So 1400 years ago, they asked him, which group is that, Ya Rasulullah? And he says, those who follow my sunnah and the sunnah of my companions. Now, there are people who say they follow the Prophet, but they don't follow his sunnah. They don't. Or they say we follow the Prophet, but they make up their own things. Or they're saying we're following the Prophet, we're following his sunnah, but we're not following the sunnahs of his companions, of those ones after him, and those ones after him, and those ones after him. Because when the Prophet said, my sunnah, the sunnah of my companions, is talking about here, it's not. He's talking about a chain. He's talking about going according to the chain that is in front of you, not to try to think you can go all the way back to 1400 years. You have to follow Sahabis, Tabi'in. Tabi'in simply means those who follow. Tabi'in, the ones who follow, the ones who follow. And then continuing, 1400 years. Now we come to the point. Mercy of the Prophet ﷺ. When there was a Khilafat, everybody knows for 1400 years the Khalifa is representing who? Allah. Is he representing Allah? Everybody knows he's representing the Prophet ﷺ. He is the Khalifa. What is he upholding? He is defending the Sunnah. This is what Sunnis means. We defend the Sunnah of the Prophet. That for 1400 years they refine and they refine and they refine all the Sunnah and they make it beautiful, they make it more tasty, more fragrant, more beautiful. The Sunnahs of the Prophet ﷺ, so that everyone can enjoy. Everyone can practice and everyone can enjoy. For instance, you know Taraweeh prayer? Today, if there is one Sahabi from that time who comes and says, the way that you pray, 8 rak'ats, it is not accepted. Or better, they don't judge. They say, during the Prophet's time, we used to pray 8, 20, 40, 100 rak'ats. Any number you want, you can pray. There'll be millions of Muslims who are going to call that Sahabi who followed the Prophet, saying that you are making bid'at. You're making stuff up and you are going to go to hellfire. But that's exactly what they did during the time of the Prophet ﷺ. The Sahabis and after him. Like Taraweeh prayer, they didn't just limit into 8 rak'ats or 20 rak'ats. They would make all night long if they want to. And some of them they did. And this has been refined. This has been put into law. And the scholars have said, forget about the shaykhs. They don't wait until Ramadan to pray all night long. The Ahlul Bayt and the shaykhs, they will pray all night long, any night of the year. But it is well known now. You can do it. Okay, we put a cap at 20 rakats as a Jamaat. You want to pray all night long? You can. You can go home and pray all night long. It's okay. But now if that Sahabi were to come today and he's going to pray more, so millions of Muslims are going to say, you are people of hellfire now. So, which means what? People, they're not saying that they are following the Prophet, they're not following the Prophet. That's why choosing the mazhab, it is important. But of course, these days people get too clever, especially people from the West. Yeah? Yesterday they don't know how to enter a toilet. Today they memorize everything, they become Muslim, very good. But they start making up stuff inside of Islam, new stuff inside of Islam also, saying that, you stupid brown Muslims, you don't know. We know, because we're white. Basically, it's that kind of attitude. What they call cancel? Cancel. They cancel us. Cancel culture. They say, don't you know? Now we have to make new mazhab, new law, new way. We have to make new Islam, European Islam, American Islam, this Islam, that Islam. But running away from those who have been given authority to establish. They run away from those who have given authority. Those ones that they follow, that they say they have authority, look to them, they don't have authority. Not dunya, not akhirat. So they don't follow. So how are you going to understand mercy? Like I said 100 years ago, everyone under the Khalifa, new Khalifa is Khalifatul Rasul. Khalifa means Khalifatul Rasul. And the Prophet ﷺ is the one who is representing Allah. And they concentrate on the love of the Prophet ﷺ. And when you do, you would feel his love. You start reflecting that. And you understand now why Allah loves him so much, the most. And that why Allah is saying he is the mercy. Not you, not me, he is the mercy to all of the universes. You enter into tariqat to dig deeper into that, because the key is there. The key to La ilaha illallah is through Muhammad Rasulullah. If you don't understand Muhammad Rasulullah, if you don't get close to the Prophet ﷺ and you don't understand, you will never understand La ilaha illallah. That time, your thinking about Allah or understanding about Allah is according to your ego, or according to your nationality, according to your philosophy, according to your politics, according to anything, but not according to the chain that is coming directly from the Holy Prophet ﷺ. So, how can we remove the Prophet ﷺ from this religion? This religion was revealed to him. If those ones are saying, don't love the Prophet too much, concentrate on Allah. But everything that we have, from the fasting to reciting to Hajj to everything, is according to the Prophet, to the praying according to the Prophet. Only lately, in the last, let's say, 50 years, we have one group that says we want to remove the Prophet and just pray to Allah. We just want to follow the Quran, not the Hadith. Hadith is prone to mistakes. Quran is perfect. We just want to follow the Quran. The Prophet is human. We don't want to concentrate on him. He is human. We want to concentrate on Allah. Those that they call the, how you say? Not Quran only is a nice term. They are those ones who are disobedient to the Sunnah. The disobedient to Sunnah people. That they go against the Sunnah. They even go to the extreme that they say we're not going to pray according to the way the Prophet prayed. We're going to pray according to what Allah is telling us. But Allah in so many ayats is saying, follow that Prophet, follow that Prophet. Whatever he gives you, follow. Whatever he says, follow, follow, follow, follow. Obey Allah and obey his Prophet. Obey Allah and obey his Prophet. Over and over and over again. And you know something else? The Quran came through the lips and tongue of the Prophet. It didn't come from Allah directly. It didn't. The language of Allah is different. The language of the Quran is different. The Prophet still had to say it, no? So you're coming, you're taking it. You're saying you're only following the Quran, but the Quran is from the one that you say is only human. But that is a different kind of Wahhabi kind of idea. It's taken over because everyone is saying, okay, I can just pray to Allah. It is easier. I don't have to follow anyone. I can live my own life. I can do as I like, because that one is going to tell me exactly what I have to do. But the Prophet is saying, like this, Allah is teaching me this. If you want to love Allah, you want Allah to love you, you follow. You follow as you like. You cannot separate now. Once you start separating Prophet ﷺ from Allah in your love, then you're separating the love of the Sahabis, you're separating now the love of the awliya Allah. So you said to separate all holy people, you said there's no holiness. Everyone is the same. Once you start pushing away the awliya Allah, the holy people, those that you understand, those that you don't understand, those that you see and those that you don't see, those who have power that is open and those who have hidden power. Once you deny them, then it's very easy to say, I only follow Allah. But you're in trouble now, because your faith is going to be according to your own ideas. Your own ideas. It's not going to be according to the ideas, not ideas, the reality of those ones that Allah says, these are my beloved ones and these are my friends. Then we're in trouble. You don't have mercy, you don't know the mercy of the Prophet, you don't know the love of the Prophet ﷺ. That time you will be terrorist. Very easy. Very easy. Very easy to take the religion and run. And saying Quran is saying this and this. Very easy. And whatever the Christians have been saying for 1400 years, that Muslims are violent and terrorists, they achieved that aim now. Shaitan achieved that with Wahhabism idea and cutting away the love of the Prophet ﷺ. Because when that love hits you, it is impossible to do that. Then, just like the Christians, they say, oh, the Prophet was violent. What violent? What violent? Because he fought back. Look in the Old Testament how many prophets fought back. Look how they fought and look how the Prophet ﷺ fought. Then you're going to see who is violent. Are we saying that those Old Testament prophets, they are violent? No, we say they are under the command of Allah. We don't judge, you see. This is the meaning. When the ayat of Amana Rasul saying, and we make no distinction between them. the prophets of Allah, we make no distinction. We don't say, this one is like this one is like that. This one is violent, this one is not. This one is son, and this one is no. And what violence? How many years he was in Mecca? Huh? 13 years he was in Mecca. 13 years. And the small Islamic Jamaat community with the Prophet, every single day for 13 years, they were being hunted down and killed and oppressed and bullied and insulted. All their rights taken away from them. They were killed, they were tortured. They lived in complete difficulty and agony for 13 years. And the Prophet never taught them to take the sword and to open it and to fight back for 13 years. What kind of violence is that? After 13 years, then he said to them, now you're going to start attacking and killing everyone? No, Christians, they do that. No, he says, now you make the hijrah. You go somewhere else where you can practice your religion. You can say La ilaha illallah without fear that people are going to now attack you and kill you. And they did. And when they went away to just establish the kingdom of Allah properly, and then when those animals started chasing them to finish them off, that's when Allah is saying, now start fighting back to defend. And even then, the Prophet felt, ﷺ, very hesitant about that. And that is the command when Allah is saying what?
I know that you don't like to fight.
And?
But the zulm is worse than killing.
Oppression, it is worse than killing. So easy now. Christians saying, peace, peace, peace. What? Your 2,000 years is filled with peace? Your popes are filled with peace? What dirtiness and what corruption you've spread to the whole world now? In the name of your religion, it's not the teachings of Isa alayhi salam, it's not the teachings of Jesus. No, you've deviated because you're not following your prophet. They say, you're the one who threw, but we are the one. What? That ayat? So Allah is saying, you are the one who is going to throw, but we are the one who is directing. I'm paraphrasing it. I'm the one who's giving the direction. You are physically doing that, but we are the ones giving permission to do that. And what? First battle, the Muslims, all thousands, everyone comes out hungry for revenge. After 10 years, they want to take revenge and kill everyone. 313 over 1,000, more than 1,000 people that came. And those 313, they were not sure, they were unsure. Even the Prophet ﷺ was begging Allah for victory. Violent? Yeah, what today they call projection, right? You are projecting. Same way. Savages, you come into this country and you say these people are savages, you'll have savagery in your heart. Doesn't matter what kind of clothes you wear, what kind of technology you think you have. Muslims now become even worse. Worse than that. Because learning from that become worse than that. When you stop following holy people that are in the footsteps of the Prophet ﷺ, you lose that connection. You just become something you read or you attend a lecture about, but you lose that connection. There is no one that is there trying to teach you that embodies it. There are. At any given time, there's 124,000 saints of Allah. But when the heart is busy with this world, busy with internet, busy with everything, and not searching for Allah, you can't see anything because the heart is blind. But when the heart is open, that time you'll see so many things. So our aim is not to be so busy with those things. We are in it, we can take it, but we cannot be obsessed with it. Situation comes when we can be running away from that, we must do that. Then, once we understand not just the love of the Prophet ﷺ, but the difficulties that he went through, to know the love of the Prophet and the mercy of the Prophet is not just to sit around and sing songs about him. It's good, alhamdulillah, to sing qasidas and everything. Yeah, it's good. It's not just that. Sahabe-i-kiram, they did not become sahabis just by sitting and praising the Prophet ﷺ. They sacrificed and they went through hell to help establish his adalat, his justice, his laws, his teachings in this world. They ran and they struggled for that. So the bigger struggle and the smallest struggle. At least it's a struggle. If you are struggling, the smaller struggle is good, but now there is no permission for that. But the bigger struggle, the struggle against your nafs, it is still the struggle of the Prophet ﷺ that he's teaching for the ummah to take. If you're doing that, then you start understanding a little bit more, not just the love of the Prophet, but the difficulties. The difficulties. It's not just to sit and sing songs and get carried away and get into a high of the Prophet. It's not that. Then you have to understand, what was the Prophet? What did he come to establish? To tell mankind, turn your face away from shaitan, turn your face away from your ego and from this dunya and turn to Allah. And that time when every day you are struggling to control yourself and to step in your ego because of the Prophet ﷺ, then you are involved in his struggle. That time it becomes more sweet. And you're going to see so many changes in your lives. So many things you're going to understand, realize, and you're going to taste. And it's not just because you are getting a high. It's not about high at all. May Allah make us to become more sincere and more truthful, inshallah. Amen. For us to wake up. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. All right. I'll give the dessert. What is this, never ending? Give. Any other questions? You have a question? You do? Say.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh. I am worried about my future and where I will be. I don't know what to do or where I'm going. All I want is a simple life and to try to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What should I do?
The first thing that you have to do is you have to ask Allah for a guide. When you are lost, ask Allah for a guide. When believers, they are lost and they are helpless, from the time of the Adam alayhi salam until the time of the Prophet alayhi salam, when believers, they are struggling, they ask Allah for a guide. They are asking Allah to send them a prophet, or they ask Allah to send them a king. So you are lost a little bit. Eat your dessert. If you feel that you are lost, ask for a guide. It's more intelligent. You may say, show me the right way. How do you know you have the proper eyes to know what is right and what is wrong? How do you know? People want to follow the sirat, thinking it is sirat al-mustaqim. But it is a different sirat. It's not sirat al-mustaqim. It is a sirat of deviation, or sirat of pulling the anger of Allah. So if you think that you are lost, ask Allah for a guide. Doesn't matter who it is. But if you ask Allah for a guide, you ask Allah for a shaykh. Take any shaykh that your heart is pulling to, that you feel certain that that one will bring you to what you are looking for, then follow. The order to follow a shaykh, it is everywhere. It is also in the Quran Karim. Allah is saying, follow those who ask you no fee and who are themselves rightly guided. Be with the Salihin. So find a shaykh, find a guide, and follow. Step by step, that one will tell you what to do. There are different kinds, up to you, to go to whomever you think is going to be able to satisfy your heart. Be clear what you want. If you want simple life, you want just be a good servant, there are other sheikhs out there that will be able to guide you properly. So then that time will be easy for you. Otherwise, you'll still be scrambling. You're showing one thing, next day your ego will show you another, shaitan will trick you to show you another, because you don't have somebody up in front of you, one person in front of you, that is going to say, do this and don't do this. And when you're following one shaykh, it is better, follow that one. Listen to that one, sohbat especially. Now we're talking about, because our Jamaat is based in sohbat. You are not going to follow the sohbat of one shaykh, follow another sohbat, another shaykh, another sohbat, another shaykh, especially in our Jamaat. It is up to you. You can do it. We're not forcing you. But when you do that, you're going to mix all the medicines up. You're going to mix all the medicines up. You don't do that in this real life where you go to see a foot doctor. You say, this is enough. This doctor is giving me this medicine. You don't go to 10 foot doctors to see what they're going to do and what kind of medicine that they are going to ask. You know that you have to concentrate on one. So you may go, but you get mixed up that time, and we know that you are going to get mixed up. So from the beginning, you had that already. Now, if you are following in our way, as we said before you take the bayat, I say, we ask you so many times, are you sure? Are you sure? Because it is different from others. If it's necessary, as Shaykh Efendi is saying, we will knock you wall to wall, because this way is to teach you your evil side, your bad side, your negative side, your ego and your shaitan. This is not the way that is going to show you your angelic side, your saintly side, your holy side. There are so many other sheikhs that can do that. You come in and they'll praise you. It's not our way. We're going to say, look, this ego that you have, this characteristic that you have, it is no good. It is stopping you. You are a good person, but this characteristic is not. You are stuck here. You must be awake and you must be aware. Because your ego can trick you, even if you worship so much and you know so much, your ego can trick you. So you must understand the ego. The Shaykh will show you. Sometimes when it's necessary, he will knock you wall to wall. And it's not in a way that you are going to like. In fact, in today's cancel culture, they're going to say all that is abuse. What else they say? Psychological, bullying, this and that. All words you may say. Funny, they don't talk about like that about the military. They don't say that about, let's say, why you don't say when I'm studying in the university and they give me this much reading material that they're bullying me? Why you don't say that? Especially engineers. Engineers, they have no life. Why you don't say this is psychological abuse? Why you don't say that? Engineers have no life, right? For all that. They become they don't have social skills. Because they are given so much work to absorb that they don't have time to be normal. Why you don't say that? Why you don't say that you're getting abused when you're going to work? Oh, it fits you to say things like that about the way of Allah. Go ahead, doesn't matter. Dogs will bark, but the caravan continues. We continue, inshallah, with or without you. Yeah? Assalamu alaikum. Amen. All right. Anything else? Any other questions? Ramazan Mubarak. This much is enough, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Al-Fatiha.
محمد عدد خفقان الطير وطيران الجن والشياطين من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد كل بهيمة خلقتها على جديد أرضك من صغير أو كبير في مشارق الأرض ومغاربها من إنسها وجنها ومما لا يعلم علمه إلا أنت من يوم خلقت الدنيا إلى يوم القيامة في كل يوم 1000 مرة. اللهم وصل على سيدنا